Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 1016th day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Russia has lost approximately 748,950 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 1,580 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 13 tanks, 22 armored combat vehicles, 21 artillery systems, 31 drones, 97 pieces of special equipment and 2 vehicles. Ukraine will receive over 30,000 deep strike drones as part of the President's resilience plan in 2025. These next-generation drones can operate autonomously over long distances and strike enemy targets with high precision. The Russians launched 156 combat clashes and carried out 25 airstrikes, including 29 anti-aircraft missiles on the territory of Ukraine. They also 650 kamikaze drones and carried out 4,000 attacks on the positions of Ukrainian troops and settlements using various types of weapons. In its latest intelligence update, the UK's Ministry of Defence reports the average daily Russian casualties in the Russia-Ukraine conflict reached a new monthly war high in November 2024. This is the third straight month that Russian forces have sustained new war high average daily losses. November 2024 was also likely the most costly month of the war for Russia, with a total of 45,680 casualties reported by the Ukraine General Staff. The high rate of casualties is likely reflective of the higher tempo of Russian operations and offensives. Russia is attempting to increase the pressure on Ukrainian lines as they seek to push Ukrainian forces back on several fronts. Russia's casualty rate will likely continue to average above 1,000 a day in December 2024 despite the onset of winter, with continued dismounted infantry attacks on multiple axes. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. Mounting evidence continues to personally implicate Russian President Vladimir Putin and other senior Kremlin officials in the forced deportation and re-education of Ukrainian children in Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin continues to posture Russian economic stability and growth, while high interest rates and efforts to combat inflation suggest that the Kremlin is worried about economic stability in the long term. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan announced on December 4 that Armenia has effectively reached the point of no return in its ties with the Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization. Ukrainian forces recently regained lost positions in Toretsk and near Velika Novosilka. Russian forces recently advanced in Chasiv Yar, near Toretsk, Pokrovsk, Vuhledar, Velika Novosilka, and in Kursk Oblast. The Kremlin continues to use its Time of Heroes program to place veterans of the war in Ukraine in leadership positions within the Russian government and major state companies. In President Zelensky's nightly address, he spoke about 3 key areas. Firstly, military updates and strategic developments. Ukraine's military leadership reviewed frontline operations, focusing on the Kursk operation and strengthening brigade supplies. Defense intelligence reported on Russia's near-term intentions and shifts in Syria's balance of power, with implications for global dynamics. Additionally, concerns were raised over Georgia's political trajectory and its deepening ties with Russia, prompting plans for legal and sanctions-based responses. Secondly, economic and social support. Nearly 5 million Ukrainians have applied for the e-Support winter payment program, with Ukroposhta now enabling an additional 2 million pensioners and social aid recipients to access the scheme. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development has approved €1.3 billion for Ukraine's infrastructure and energy sectors, aiding recovery efforts during the heating season and bolstering frontline region support. Lastly, recognition of military bravery. On Missile and Artillery Forces Day, Zelensky awarded state honors, including crosses of military merit, to Ukrainian artillery units for their valor. The 107th Artillery Brigade and the 15th Separate Artillery Reconnaissance Brigade were specifically recognized for their courage and contributions to Ukraine's defense. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.